Hello, Taurus. This is your part two. Someone tried to pay for the whole thing, but what happened was every time that I did a reading to try to do the general reading of the part two, it came up her reading because I did a private reading with her earlier that day. And it was very obvious to me that every time I tried to do a general part two reading for you guys, all of the readings were her readings because she's the one who paid for it. And that is what I was kind of trying to teach you guys with regards to just saying if 20 of you make a $10 donation, then what will happen is your part two is going to resonate with you because you contributed to it. And that has everything to do with the Ace of Cups, okay? And I didn't even know how the two played into each other by me saying 20 of you make a $10 donation in order to get your part two. And then we'll talk about the Ace of Cups when the two of them have everything to do with each other. And I did not realize that until after the fact. See, because what would have happened had some of you made a donation? What would have happened is many of you who made a donation would have received that donation back like 50-fold. And 50-fold in the area that you need it in, rather it be financial or rather it be in the form of simple kindness from people, or rather it be in the form of protection from people who want to take from you. Whatever form you need it in the most, that is the form it would have come back in 10-fold, 20-fold, 30-fold, however many fold the divine decides. Now, I did not get one donation, but I will tell you this about me. I don't do this for donations, and I don't do this for money. Although it is nice when I can actually get paid and buy my kids a pair of underwear. That's really fun. That's really nice. I enjoy that. But I'm not going to stop you guys from getting your part two, okay? So listen well, my loves. I looked at your cards and I moved them around. And one thing I learned by doing a couple private readings over the weekend is that I learned that when I see a card like this and I see a card like this, even if it's like in this position or that in position, my job is to teach you how to go from the Page of Cups to the Knight of Cups. My job is to teach you how to graduate to another level. Okay? And it's obvious here to me what it is that some of you need to do who are battling the sadness that you are dealing with based on the dishonesty that you experienced recently. Okay? The Page of Cups is such an innocent character to where when he is matched with the Empress, it means most of the time that you are having a baby. That is how innocent this character is. The Page of Cups. His job is to go deliver messages of love. That's what your Ace of Cups was trying to teach you. Is that if some of you asked me questions like, well, how long am I going to be going through this? Well, here's my question to you. If you've been sad for quite some time behind a situation, tell me this. Did you isolate yourself? Did you say, you know what? The town is behind me and I'm just going to take the little valuable things that I have and I'm going to go and seclude myself and I'm going to lock myself up and I'm going to be depressed and I'm going to be sad and I'm not coming out and I'm not coming around people until I'm ready. And then before you guys knew it, some of you, how many of you did you realize that you stayed away for a very long time? And while you were away, what were you giving to other people around that needed you to give them a hug? or maybe open up the door for them and say, have a nice day, or show some kind of compassion or show some kind of love in some way to them. Because what would have happened is, if you had done that, it would have came right back to you and you would not have stayed in that sad place. I'm telling you, that's why that justice card popped up, because it was also a reminder of what comes around goes around. If you're in a sad place, that's a perfect time to get in your car, turn your music up super loud, and sing until you lose your voice. Put that happy energy out there, because what happens is it comes back to you. So the Page of Cups, back to this innocent figure, okay? The Taurans who I was referring to in the part 1 were literally very innocent individuals. I have done readings on a few Taurus this weekend, and I will be honest with you, they were you can tell that they were very meek Taurans. And just because you guys know how to pull out the horns doesn't mean that you prefer to do that. There are many of you Taurans who are not bullish right off the bat. You know how to do it, but a lot of you prefer not to. A lot of you have very big hearts. Don't forget, I did say my grandfather was a Taurus. And my grandfather was a man of very few words, but I will tell you, he left an inheritance to his great-grandchildren. He led by example. And when he got upset, he did not say much, but you did know that he was upset. So I know that there are several type of Taurans out there, but I know that your hearts are huge. It would take a huge heart for you to work your butt off your entire life, like my grandfather, only to leave it to people who are going to be around when you are long gone and dead. He could have easily taken all of that money and enjoyed the rest of his years in Greece. But he saved it up and stacked it up so that he can give his great-grandchildren a legacy. I'm just giving an example as to what I know, the potential for some of you Taurans. I know how big your hearts are. And so when your hearts are that big, what happens is they break very easily. Because you're empaths. You guys know how to put yourself in other people's shoes. Does that go for all of you? No, it doesn't. That's why in the comments section in the part 1, I got a little disturbed when I saw, some of the comments that were like, Taurus did this to himself and da-da-da-da yada yada. I don't want any bitter comments on my commentary section, please. This is a place where I want people to be able to go and get clarity. This is not a place where I want people to feel worse or maybe blame themselves when they're already blaming themselves for something that is not their fault. Because other people's behavior is not your fault. You can't control other people's behavior, but you can control yours. So here's the gist of your part 2, along with the Ace of Cups theme. If you don't want to be sad anymore, then do things that are opposite of sad. Do the things that are opposite of sad. Go take somebody out to lunch. And before you know it, guess what? Somebody's going to do something so nice for you. You might want to fall to your knees and cry because you can't believe somebody took the time to be that kind. Be kind to someone else and don't stay in that sad place. Go out, hit the town. This is my suggestion. I don't have a right to make choices for you, but I can make suggestions. It may be a lot of work for some of you to trust people again, but maybe you should try. Because if you trust people again, then people will start to trust you again. Go out and celebrate. Go out and put that happy energy out there. This card also means celebration, not so much third-party situations. Go out and celebrate. Go put some happy energy out there. And then guess what? It comes right back around. Why do you think the planets surround the sun and go around the sun year after year after year after year for billions of years? It just is the nature of how things work. Look at sacred geometry. Everything comes back around in a pattern. So in order for you guys to go from the Page of Cups, which is the baby of love, right? And when I say the baby of love, please take it well when I say that. It really is a very endearing term. It's the cutest thing ever. And unfortunately, there are some really, I don't know how to describe these people. I'm going to try to be as nice as possible. But I can only call them shitty, okay? There are some really, really shitty people out there who look for people who are that kind and who are that vulnerable. And their hearts are that vulnerable. Like, for example, some of you are the type of people that when you see somebody like in a bad situation, like you feel so obligated to like save the world. I swear to God, you guys go run and put on your cape immediately. You guys got this save the world thing going on. And you know what? Those shitty people who have nothing to offer because they don't want to get off their own ass and make things happen for themselves want what you got. And they know how to play you every single time. And when it happens in love, it's the most hurtful thing ever. So that's why it's time to become the Knight of Cups. Because the Knight of Cups is more mature. And see, the Knight of Cups is going to say, oh, hell no. I have a big heart, but my armor is thicker. And I know what to look for. I've had a little bit more practice. I'm a teenager now, turning into a young adult. And I'm going and I'm giving messages of love. But guess what? I'm a lot more meticulous with who I choose to give these messages to. Instead of, I'm going to go play around a little bit and I'm going to let a fish go ahead and play around in my cup for a little while. And then when the person walks by, I don't care about their qualities or characteristics or what they're going to do or how they're going to respond. They're just going to take the message of love and kick sand in my face. And because I'm so innocent, I'm going to ask myself, why would they do that? But then I'm going to give another person the opportunity to do the very same thing that the last person did. Do you understand, Taurus? You guys are empaths. All of you who hit the like button are empaths. Okay? If it did not resonate with you, that's okay, because every general reading is not going to resonate with you. If I had $1 for every time an Aries reading did not resonate with me, I'd be a very rich woman. It's okay. I'm talking to those whom this resonates with. Some of you are staring at the Three of Wands. This means walk away. Walk away. Yes, you might have put work into a situation, but I want you to go down there and read some of those comments from part 1 of how long some of those people were in those relationships that beat them down so badly for so long because they held in there and they loved that person who didn't deserve them worth a damn. Do it now. While there's only 2 wands that you have to walk away from, and you still have 1 wand in your hand to support you as you move forward. That's one thing. Know when to walk away from someone who is taking advantage of your kindness. Know how to set boundaries with people. Again, this is only my advice. I don't have a right to make your choices. I only have a right to give you advice. I wish I had a Yelp account, and I'm going to set one up because I would like for a lot of you to know what my private readings are like. They are really more like therapy sessions than tarot readings. Although when the cards need to pop out, I pop them out, and I know exactly what's going on. And I know exactly when someone is cheating themselves, with the way they communicate with themselves. And I know when someone is sabotaging themselves and creating a situation for themselves when they don't realize that they're their own worst enemy. And then when I go ahead and break it down, because of the cards are showing me exactly what's happening, then they have a brighter understanding, and then they're very grateful, and they move forward, and it makes me feel good, and it makes them feel good, and it's an equal exchange. Please understand that love is an equal exchange. Sometimes you may have more than the other, and it's okay to sit back and wait and be the strong one. But there has to come a time where your other partner comes back around and is willing to be just as strong in maybe a different area for your support. I just saw that gentle thing just come over here gently. Anyway, yes, for some of you it may be a lot of work. Because given what you experienced with this betrayal, some of you are not interested in giving any second chances or interested in considering any other ways of doing things right now. You just kind of want to separate yourself from everybody because you feel like everybody is pretty much the same deep down in their core. And I know what that feels like. Trust me, I do. But everybody is not the same down to the core. Sometimes you get lucky, and sometimes you meet somebody that really does want to celebrate with you generously and genuinely. They genuinely want to see you happy. But you got to come out. You can't shove your emotions so far down because you've been hurt that they're inaccessible. Because if they're inaccessible, then you can't use them with anybody else. And then if you can't use them with anybody else, then you can't get anything back that's going to offer you comfort out of this situation. So, here's your part 2. And it's all based on the Ace of Cups. And if you notice, you pulled the Page of Cups. And my job is to get you to become the Knight of Cups. Well, here's what I recommend. And again, I do not have a right to make your choices, but I do have a right to make recommendations. Walk away from anyone who does not respect the boundaries that you set. You have a right to set whatever boundaries that you want to set in love, in work environments, or in any situation whatsoever. You don't have to sit and stick around and be anybody's doormat at any time. They're called boundaries. Walk away from people, situations, and things that do not offer you the respect that you deserve, especially with the type of heart that you have. When you need to get away for a while, do so. But don't stay away too long, because when you stay away too long, then the energy that you put into the atmosphere, into the universe, becomes stagnant. And there's no way for you to get any love back because you're not giving any love to anybody else because you decided to run away because it hurt so bad and you just need time. Well, how much time do you need, some of you? It is time for you to come out of that shell. Some of you, you need to go out and you need to go have a good time and stop convincing yourself that everybody is just a pure piece of shit. I hate to put it like that because that's the energy I'm feeling from some of you. Like, I feel like some of you are like, no, everybody's like on some bullshit. No, just some people. Not everybody. But you have to be a good judge of character when it comes to love, okay? And yes, for some of you, that may be a difficult thing. It may take a lot of work, and you may have to kiss a lot of frogs before you get to the prince, because you guys are empaths, and you guys really are ruled by your heart. I don't care what any book says. To conclude, okay, a lot of you are waiting for your harvest to come in. A lot of you just got a new idea on how to move forward. Awesome. And a lot of you are still very heartbroken, and I understand that. I wish I could take that away from you because I know what to do with that. I know how to let it pass. People are going to hurt you. It happens. And when it happens, it feels so unfair, and I understand. But what I recommend is that you use your Ace of Swords energy now. Use your intellect to determine who deserves your love and who doesn't. Who do you celebrate with and who do you not? And for those of you who have asked me, when will it be over? Here's my answer to you. It's over now. Now it's up to you to believe it. Now it's up to you to start living life as if that's really the case. Because that's really the case. It's over now. It's over now. You learned your lesson. You've been there, done that. It's over. It hurt. And we are now moving on. But this is only for those of you who are ready for that. And I hope that all of you are ready for that. Yes, I understand that some of your hearts are still broken. I will pull a clarifier to see what Spirit has to say with regards. Okay, see, look, it came upside down. This means, guess what? Someone is hurting you, and you think it's a spiritual union. It's not. Spiritual unions don't come with 3 swords to the heart. Someone who really loves you ain't gonna hurt you like that. So, like, if you're in a relationship with somebody that's constantly making you feel like that, you know what you do? You do that. And I'm gonna leave it at that. You walk away. I'm not saying that be cruel. I'm not saying be rude. I'm saying stay away from toxic people. And I'm saying it's okay to set boundaries with your heart so that it can be exposed and so that you can use it throughout the day with people. It's meant to be used so that you can continue to be empathetic toward people and so that you can get empathy back when you need it. But when your feelings are inaccessible because you put them and shove them so far down because somebody hurt you, then there's nothing to give and then there's nothing to receive and then you're now stagnant. And then that's why a lot of you down there felt like you're just suffering and feeling this pain and this loss and it just won't ever go away. Well, guess what? It's over now, but that's up to you. You guys are sitting here waiting for your harvest to come in. But it's here. It came in. So what are you waiting for? Rake them up, put them in your bag, and go spend them how you want to. And that's your part 2, my loves. None of you made any donations, and that's okay. Because I'm not a donation-driven tarot reader. But I will recommend that some of you be a lot more careful about who you choose to let into your personal space. Use your logic. And that's what this is a reminder of. This is what this is saying. Use your logic with regards to who is okay to give your love to and who not to give your love to. Swords represent thought and logic. The Ace of Swords is like baby logic, getting ready to turn into a big boy. So, you now have the Ace of Swords. You've already been given the Ace of Cups. Look them up, read about them, because that is the energy that you have to utilize for the remainder of the month. I will talk to you next month. You know I adore you guys, and I hope that you understood the message. I will talk to you all soon, and like I said before, be kind to yourselves. Until I talk to you again, namaste.